Hi there, this is Dennis with thesoundadvisor.com. I'm going to talk a little bit about Dverb. It's a reverb that comes with Pro Tools, and this one is in Pro Tools 11, so it might look a little bit different than what you have, but all the controls are pretty much the same. So let's just go over some of the buttons and knobs and kind of talk about them a little bit. So right here, we have the type of reverb we want to select. So these first two are a room-based digital reverb. This one right here is a plate reverb, and that's sort of a different way to create reverb altogether. So it'll give you a different sound. Then there's two rooms, an ambient and a nonlinear reverb. So let's just click on Hall, and let's talk about some of these buttons. So right here, I click on Hall, and this is set to large, so a large Hall. This is how many seconds of reverb or echo that you would actually hear after I, say, clapped my hands in a church or something. I would hear 4.5 seconds of echo behind that clap. And I can change that by just simply clicking on medium, and that's going to reduce the amount of seconds. Small, even more. Or I can just take this knob and manually change it to anything I want. Go way more than you never should and down low. So then we have a pre-delay knob right here. And so what that is how many milliseconds of delay there will be before the reverb is heard behind the clap. So if I clapped my hands, right now there'd be 22 milliseconds between the clap and the whoosh that would come up behind it. And you can increase that way, way up and bring it down to where you can't hear the difference between the two. And you can actually create sort of a delay effect, say on a snare drum or whatever, using that pre-delay with the reverb. Now the high cut, that's going to just cut high frequencies on the reverb and make it a little less harsh. But this is, I think, going to be just a gentler slope than, say, the low-pass filter, which is going to be a complete cutoff at a certain frequency. Now this is a diffusion, and that's sort of like in a room where the sound would sort of disperse within the room. And you can kind of play with that and see where you think it should be with your reverb. It'll kind of color the sound a little bit. And this right here is how it blends between the dry signal and the wet signal. So right now, I have this set on an insert on a voiceover track. So I wouldn't want this all the way wet. I wouldn't probably want it all the way dry if I was looking to put reverb on it. I would put it somewhere up, maybe 25%, 50%. If I were using this reverb plugin on its own aux input or as a reverb to send to, I would set this all the way wet and then select some of my signal from the voice to be sent there and control my amount of reverb like that. You can also, they have some settings to start with here too, as well as within these buttons. So I can go to a long plate and see it's going to click plate long and make the decay time longer. I can go to can, which is going to be really tight. You can see the decay gets it's in milliseconds how tight that is. So I hope that helps you guys out, and thanks for watching.